Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. Hey, I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 5B, episode 21. A lot did happen. I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of time. The action that actually happened is probably what I will spend the most time on, but we'll see what happens. But I thank everyone for coming to my channel. As you're coming in, please like this video. Share it also. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here. Welcome. And to any returning watchers, thank you for coming back and welcome again. And also leave your comments on what you think. My thoughts may be controversial. First and foremost, I'm going to put a disclaimer. I really don't like Scott's 1.0. And even today, I do have to defend them a lot because, as I said at the beginning of this part B of the season, I knew I had to watch each episode and see what happens, and then I can judge it by that. I love Kiki. I don't see where Kiki has been right in a lot of instances, even with me liking her and loving her. You know, I try to stay away from social media, the posts, because I didn't want my view to be clouded. Some people say that they have insight on what really happened. I know Kiki has gone live on her IG many times, and I'm not saying that she's totally wrong, but there is a lot of accountability that Kiki has to take in regards to all of this. But hear me out if you want to, and you can also disagree in the comments, and we can dialogue that way. So it's the continuation of last week's episode where Kiki is telling Mel about this threesome that Marceau is involved with. Kiki is naming names, and production has to blot out or censor out whomever she's talking about. It's distracting. Kingdom Brain Entertainment. Shout out to Mr. CarlosKing and Kingdom Brain Entertainment and the cast. It's distracting because, one, you're trying to pay attention to what she's saying, and then you also want to know, okay, who are they talking about? I do understand that Kingdom Brain does not want to be liable for whatever Kiki lets come out of her mouth. I get it. I definitely get it. I think it was the other noises that was like, okay, I want to pay attention to it, but who really cares? And then on the other point of who really cares is because all we always get are rumors. People are saying this, people are saying that, da 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 da. So Kiki goes into, I guess, more detail as to conversations that she had with Tisha after she found out what's really going on. Kiki wanted her to come to her home and so that they can talk about it. Tisha never shows up. I guess there was supposed to be some other type of call where Tisha was supposed to get in on so she could hear what's actually happening, and Tisha didn't really pay it any mind. So Mel is like, well, do you think that she already knew the rumors beforehand and that's why she's avoiding all this? Kiki thinks, yes, I believe so. Do you believe the rumors? Mel said. Kiki said, I don't know. So then it's like, let me back up for just a minute. What's going on is that I guess the ex-boyfriend of the woman that Marceau is supposed to be messing around with, he broke up with her because of it, and now he's telling everybody. And somehow, someone that Kiki knows personally is, I guess, spreading it around. I think. I'm not for sure. However, Tisha is saying, well, did you fire this person? And Kiki's like, no, blah, 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 blah. You need to be more concerned about what Marceau got going on than besides what somebody may be saying about you. Maybe that is the issue as to why Tisha has a problem with Kiki. I don't know. I think Kiki, in her mind, she thinks that she had the best intentions according to the marriage and not really trying to get involved, but it still seems like she got involved, and then people that she knows got more involved, and she doesn't feel like, maybe Tisha doesn't feel like Kiki really held up to her part of the pact that they were supposed to have. I don't know. Anyways, Kiki's really upset that she's always getting the blame for it because now Tisha's going at her like, well, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Da, 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 da. Mel is like, well, you got all this stuff going on. You know, I think it's time for you to handle your own scandals. We get on the whole thing of Stormy, the new business that they do have for the girls that Tisha has. So basically, what has been copied over on the website is the same shipping policy that that Stormy has. I've known that because I've heard that a lot in the blogs already and through commentators anyways. But basically they copied and pasted and didn't even change the person's website the email address to contact them, and it still has Canvas Beauty and all that good stuff. So she's like, I don't know what's really going on, but their web designer was pretty bad about that. So that's kind of how it ended. I don't know what to say about that. Does Scott say something more? And I'll talk about that in just a second. But it's like, is it just a mistake? Because everyone wants to paint y'all as scammers. So what's going on? I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. And I don't want to move on. I just realized who I have to talk about. The Scott brothers. If something did piss me off, but I don't know how much more I'm going to be pissed off at them, because Tisha and Kimmy, y'all married the men, and y'all knew and know what they're all about, and they continuously embarrass you. So, Maurice has decided to buy Kimmy a Jeep. He's like, life's too short. You know, I really learned that last year. His life was too short, but you're too busy trying to get nuts and pressure your wife to get nuts because you're not getting enough sex, and you're tired of her now that she told you that she's faking it for you to really get in the mood so you can really feel like a man. We find out that Maurice hurt his back by lifting weights, and he has to wear a back brace. So anyways, Marcel comes around and they talk a little bit. You know, I just bought this Jeep. Kimmy's been really desiring this Jeep for a very long time, and Maurice has been trying to talk her out of it. Well, why don't you do this? And she's like, no, I want a Jeep. Why don't you do that? I want a Jeep. And then he says, well, she describes why she really wants a Jeep is because she wants to let the top down and let the wind run through her hair. And then he says that he told her, well, you don't really have any hair right now to have wind going through your hair. I said, I want to cuss so bad. MFA. Like, you really said that? You really said that? You really said that? How demonic is that? I'm going to say it like that. Because it's like, bruh, you are now making sport of her illness that could have took her out. You don't deserve that, dude, that woman. But Kimmy wants to stay there and deal with all this. So it's like, how much more can I be upset? But that man is one sick MFer. And no, we're not taking the content, what you said out of context, because you said it directly as that. And Marcel's like, wanting to laugh, but he's like, ooh, that's too much. He even told you, don't do that. Then he gets upon the whole sex talk about, we're only having sex maybe once, twice a week, or a month. And Marcel's like, oh, you have a job and all that? Oh, like normal married people do? I guess that's normal. You know, I'm not married like that, so I don't know how much is sex, but it's like, y'all just don't have time to get it in, but you're trying to blame her. Then he goes into the whole mentality thing. That's what's going on with Kimmy. And Marcel says, well, Kimmy knows her body. That's just like the injury that you do have. I'm trying to tell you that you're feeling all this pain, but it's really just in your head. Take that neck brace off and you start doing this. How are you going to tell somebody how they're supposed to feel about their own body? But I don't understand why it took Marceau to actually allow him to see that, because he's in this confessional. You know, sometimes I just got to hear it outside of myself. But your wife says 10 million things that you will not listen to. But as soon as you get around Dr. Francis, as soon as you get around blockhead Marceau, here you go. Now a revelation and a light has come on. But you do that to Kimmy so many times. It's just like last season when you went to Dr. Francis. Kimmy already told you all that. It's because you're too familiar with her and you don't really respect her and honor her for who she really is. That's trash. But hey, Kimmy, you like it, I love it. They get on that they're going to do a cookout, and this is where Maurice is going to surprise Kimmy with the Jeep. He says that he's going to invite everyone, and that's including Stormy and Courtney. Marcel's like, because what's his name is saying, you know, are you want to be good with that? And Marcel says, I am good with that. You know, Stormy wanted a reaction out of me, get under my skin, and I wanted to get under her skin, and I wanted to do it a lot better than what she was doing. So basically, he doesn't consider them friends, and it really wants to treat them like they don't exist, because friends like that is not whom he is associated with. I can't say I'm mad about that, but you really started all this, Marceau. But you don't have no problem. I think that they are being way overly petty about certain stuff. And can just won't even let it go. So basically, they're off of his list. So we get to a scene with Courtney and Stormy. They're in the bed. Stormy's been sick. She had strep throat that developed into toxic shock syndrome. I don't know what that is, never heard of it or whatever, but everything has been worse with her body, and she really needs to rest. The doctor has given her medication and stuff where you need to be off for at least 10 days. She doesn't want to because there's a lot of work to be done. And Courtney's like, well, we need you around and you need to get your rest. Da, 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 da. Stormy says that Kiki is the first person that reached out to her, and she just finds that really great and amazing. And I guess that's that on that. I think Courtney ended up saying, well, she's a sweetheart, da, 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 da. And then he gets on what Stormy said that we didn't see beforehand about them making fun of the picture from Crime Stoppers, making her look like Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck! That was my childhood. I'm like, oh my Lord. Darkwing Duck, let's get dangerous. So how she was looking or whatever, it made her look like she was that. I was like, oh, okay. But then y'all were just licking up Stormy a couple weeks ago and looking so down at Tiffany, da 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 da. And there we have it. They did make fun of it though. Sorry. She said that they were making fun of the picture, not so much of Kiki. Okay, but she still was making fun of it and talked about it in not just a so respectable way as we thought. Just pointing that out. So, of course, Stormy knows, and I don't know why Courtney doesn't know, because they are co-owners in this whole deal. Stormy brings up the topic of the copy and paste from Tisha. Stormy is not aware that Tisha did do this, but she found out about it because of how social media is and how people don't like me, they don't like her. It's to that. I got something to say at the end of this video because I hate this for this show, but I don't know about this show anymore. I don't know. Anyways, so she gets on that topic. She says she didn't know anything about it until people just started going in on her, but she does know that was a copy and paste. Stormy does say that she's not. This is something that happens a lot, not with Tisha, but with others that have used their stuff. But it wasn't even like how Stormy was saying is that the web designer or whoever made the website still took their time in even changing it. That made it blow up even more on social media. So I got stuff to say about you, Tisha, in just a minute because I'm going to slay you 1 minute and defend you in the next. So anyways, what was I going to say? She was like, as much as Marcel was talking so bad about us not wanting to be different ones to want to talk about business, but I would have helped Tisha if she had came to me in the first place. So she said that she wants to talk about it, but she's not mad about it because I guess it's kind of like just water off her back because that stuff does happen. Really, the verbiage in Stormy's shipping policy is normal. Really, all they needed to do was just take off the email. I know people are saying plagiarize. It's not all the way plagiarizing. It's just now that you know that there was a copy and paste, because I'm sure there is a standard template that says exactly what she says. I can just about guarantee it. So I don't know why we'll find out. We'll talk about that in just a second. So that's it. So we move on to Marceau and Tisha. They are at the plaza that they do have, and Scott's Realty is up and coming and ready to go. Well, not ready to go, but now they're ready to start with electricity to get things going so she can start making some deals. Even though I don't even want to go back. I don't even want to go back. But it still looks kind of void right now. And I'm not sure if if you're doing electricity right now, I don't know when that building is going to be done. They were talking about the barbershop. The designer already got done with all of that. So how they're presenting everything to us right now, everything is up and running concerning the plaza. They're remodeling their house. They're in an apartment. Nothing's happening with Scott Manor, though. Okay. So Marcel is upset because as far as the bet on black event that they were going to have, that included gambling, someone called to the city and said that they are illegally gambling, which they didn't really as of yet because the event didn't even happen yet. But basically, it was shut down and they canceled it. Many people online are just saying that, they're supposed to be business people and they didn't get a permit. It's not true. The reason they don't have a permit is because you can't get a permit for gambling. When I was researching to see what are the requirements for gambling in Alabama, like, do you need to get a permit for it? And they said that gambling is illegal in the state of Alabama. The only thing that they allow are the dog kennel races. That's it. You can go look it up, just Google it, and you can find out what are the laws about gambling. So I think that this was an ignorant type of thing that they were doing. They were just going to gamble, and they didn't. I don't think that they really, for this, I don't think that they meant any harm behind it. They thought that they could do it and didn't need no permit or anything. That's what I think, for real. Now we go into, they're basically frustrated because it's like anything and everything we do, somebody is looking for a problem, looking for this and that. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Ever since y'all allowed your brother to get on Miss Vanessa, ain't nobody seeing it for y'all. Ain't nobody seeing it for y'all. Ain't nobody seeing it for y'all. I'm just letting y'all know where this raft and all this stuff came from. It's coming from. That's what I think, at least. So Tisha's also stressed out. They feel discouraged because they're trying to do a good thing and they're being knocked down for this. Then they just talk about a mistake that happened with Canva's beauty copy and paste on the website. Like, she's upset because she doesn't really know what's going on, and she talks to the web designer, and they ended up just fixing it. But all over that, and now it's looking like I'm a fraud, and and Tisha starts crying, and it's like people are trying to interfere with my marriage. Like, she's having real tears. I just think that the show is just probably over, and it's too toxic, unfortunately. And I think the revamps, they're trying to work it, but a monster's been created that's just not allowing this show to move forward. That's my honest plea. I don't know if I think I understand the Scotts at the moment. I don't know if I feel sorry for them because they've been a part of the BS too. I don't know. That's how I feel. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I could go further, but it's like, what's the point? All right, so they talk about going to the cookout. Of course, they already said with Stormy and Courtney. Marcel reiterates that they're not his friends, and I'm going to treat them like they don't exist, as I did not know them over a year ago. You still started it, Marcel. I'm sorry. You still started it. Although I think that they are very immature about the whole situation, you started it. All right, so the day of the barbecue at Maurice and Kimmy's home, Courtney drops off Stormy. Oh yeah, Courtney said he's not going anyways. He doesn't want to be around Marcel, and basically he wants a plate. She says some of this as Kimmy and Maurice are trying to ask, where is Courtney? It's like he doesn't really want to come around. So they're like, so that's just it, all over that. He said, basically, yeah, he don't really want to be around the group like this, Then Kimmy's like, well, do you want? Oh, then Stormy's like, well, he did say that he wanted to play. And Kimmy said, oh, it don't work like that. And then Maurice echoed it. And I agree. No, no, you were invited to the cookout. And then you didn't have the decency to call me and say, hey, I'm not coming. You don't get no plate. But I'm sure they possibly did get a plate for him. But I understand where they're coming from with that. So let's see. Everybody starts pulling up. The Fletchers. Mel actually brought something. I didn't really see anyone else bring anything but their bellies and their mess. Mel sits down. She's sitting with the Fletchers. Stormy's right next to her. I don't think that they exchanged hi or anything. So they're playing cards, the Fletchers and all of that. And then Martell comes. He says hi to the Fletchers. He tries to say hi to Mel, and Mel does not flinch, does not utter nothing. And I mean, what does Martell expect? Sorry, you get no energy. But anyways, at this point, the Scotts 1.0, they're there. They're ready to play cards. They're playing with Stormy at another table. And Kiki comes in with her husband, Amin. Jalen is there. We finally get an appearance by him. It's been like, 2 seasons since we've seen him? Like, come on. Kingdom Reign, do something a little bit more with him. We'd like to see him. So anyways, Amin already greets the people, and you hear Tisha, hey, Amin! And then Kiki comes by and tries to speak to Tisha, and Tisha pays her dust. And actually, she gets up and removes herself from the table and acts like she needs something over on the side. And Keisha's like, really? Is that what we're doing? Just ignorant. So Kiki is pissed off. So she sits down and just starts griping to Stormy. Tisha's already back. And then she's like, see, this is what happened. You know about the rumors and stuff about da-da-da-da-da. I said, Kiki, you are going in like this? So Tisha and Marcel are just paying it no mind. And they're going on with the game. And Stormy, play the game. You got two. So she's going on, da-da-da-da-da. Kiki is rambling. And Stormy's like, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. I don't know why Kiki's talking to me about this. Like, it's a very uncomfortable situation. So they're still continuing on with the game. So Kiki ends up snatching the cards out of Stormy's hands and throwing the cards towards the Scotts. Now, right then and there, you would have been on the ground. So then Kiki is griping and all this good stuff, and somehow you think that I'm to blame with this, and you don't want to deal with this, but you can be mad at me all you want to. And then she ends up throwing water on Tisha. She's a good aimer. I'll give her that. But I promise you, we would have been back on the ground for that stunt that you pulled. I don't care how y'all want to justify this. Y'all can hate the Scotts all you want to. I don't like them either. If Kiki did that to me, she would be on the ground. And she would probably need ambulance assistance, paramedic assistance. You don't do that to me, because I won't talk to you. I won't talk to you. I won't talk to you. Deserved all of that. So at this point, Tisha's just sitting there after the water spill. Kiki gets up and walks off. And Tisha's like, really? Is this what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? Da-da-da-da-da. And Marceau, it looks like he was talking to the camera crew. Tisha, calm down. Like, oh, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. So both Marceau and Tisha, they are walking towards the house. Kimmy's coming out like, hey, it's time to eat. And Marceau's like, they got to go or we got to go, basically. And Keisha's like, yeah, I did it. So what? Da-da-da. I said, Kiki, so you're instigating the fight. So then Marceau says, you know what? You need to go get her drug tested. And I'm here for it. I love Kiki, but you deserve that. And you deserve whatever they give to you. I'm sorry. Ma'am, you disrespected them like that, to that degree. That's not cool whatsoever, Kiki. That's not cool. So then at this point, Amin getting upset. There's about to be a tussle. Kimmy stepping in the middle, trying to break it up. It's like, oh my God. But you deserve it, Kiki. And I don't think that you can claim victim in this situation. And you just got to take it. And if you don't think I'm on your side, then oh well. I can't help how I think about this whole situation. You know, they don't really want to talk about the marriage crap. You don't have any receipts. You're just hearing what somebody else is telling you. And you're still coming with the fool la la. And then you're mad that she's mad at you. So then you fight back and you do some of the most disrespectful stuff. I'm sorry. I got to back up the Scotts on this one. I'm sorry. And I said I was going to watch episode by episode to see what's happening to determine, despite who I like and who I don't like. Because I wanted to be fair and honest. So that's the end of the episode. It is to be continued. Please, you all, leave me your thoughts on what you think. Am I wrong? Did I get it wrong? What? I think that this show should end. We're not going to be able to excel. That plane is forever grounded, unfortunately. They had liftoff and has peaked, but so much has gone into the show, and it can't survive this way. That's what I think. But please like this video, share it. Also subscribe to the channel. Thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for viewing. And until the next one, peace.